Our reproductive system is what we want to think about with organs and glands and the cells and what they need to do in order to reproduce. On page 618 at the top, we have the definition of sexual reproduction. But we also have in that little paragraph the organs that are gonads, that are the ones that are producing in the male and female the sex cells or the gametes that we need as part of the sexual reproduction. The anatomy that we're going to talk about are the gonads, the gametes, and the ducts for male and female. Those are the tubes that are going to help all of this occur. And then we have male and female organs and glands that are specific to our bodies. As far as the functions or the physiology, producing offspring, but also our reproductive system is in charge of our hormone production and secretion. For the male, this is going to be quick and going through both male and female because we don't have to go as in depth as what the book goes into. So I do need to know for the male, I need you to know what the testes or testicles are. I need you to know the follicle stimulating hormone that they are producing and the luteinizing hormone that is being produced. So those are from the anterior pituitary. So that's the testosterone. So if you need to go back to chapter 24 to review the table of the hormones that are being produced. Also, we have sperm that is being produced. So that's what is carrying on the genetic information from the male. We have the spermatic duct, which is transporting the sperm cell and the seminal fluid out of the male body. At the very bottom of that paragraph, we have the urethra, which is where the semen and the urine are being transported out in the male. Also in the male, we have the prostate gland. So that's what a gland that is surrounding the urinary bladder, it's below the bladder and surrounding the urethra. We have the bulbourethral gland that is on either side of the prostate. And all of those parts that I just talked about, you can see on the picture on the top of page 619. For the female reproductive system, we have the ovaries that are producing oocytes or eggs as well as hormones. The progesterone is what is produced and needed for pregnancy. Oocytes are the sex cells that are carrying on that genetic information forward based on the female that has produced them. And an ovum is the mature oocyte, which is traveling down the fallopian tube into the uterus if implantation is going to occur. The fallopian tubes themselves, you can see in a picture on the top of page 621. So these are, we have a right and a left. They are the passageway for the ova to travel to the ovaries towards the uterus. The uterus itself is an organ where the fertilized ovum is being received, and if needed, or it so happens, the embryo grows and develops into a fetus. The uterine wall has 3 different layers that I want you to be familiar with, and this goes back to our prefixes endo, myo, and peri. The endometrium is what is shed each month. The myometrium, myo means muscle, so this is the middle muscle layer. This is where the contractions occur if childbirth is happening. And then perimetrium is the outer layer of the uterus itself. As far as the female breasts, we know what those are, but perhaps you need the term for the mammary gland of lactation. So lactation is the hormone that is being stimulating the milk production. The menstrual cycle starts on the bottom of page 621, and you do need to be familiar with the proper terms that go along with the menstrual cycle. So this is the hormonal events that occur approximately every 28 days. We have three phases. The follicular phase, which is days 1 through 13. The ovulation phase, which occurs roughly on day 14 of 28. And the luteal phase is the final phase. That's days 15 through 28. And this is also the time when relaxin that helps the uterus relax for potential implantation is occurred, or inhibit, which is also secreting the follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone, that are all working together within that luteal phase. If fertilization has occurred, fertilization is defined on the bottom of page 622, then we need to move forward because a blastocyst has occurred. So on the top of page 624, right-hand column, if an egg is being moved forward, a blastocyte has happened. So it's a solid mass that becomes a fluid-filled ball of cells, which is moving through this process, which is going to potentially be implanted because of that cell division, and pregnancy is going to occur. So pregnancy is a sequence of events. This also is broken up into trimesters if that blastocyst has implanted. So here we have the different phases of pregnancy, the first, second, and third trimester. So it's just showing how the uterus is going to grow, or the uterine growth. The placenta is a definition that's on page 625. I want you to make sure that you know about that organ and what happens within it. After the first, second, third trimester, childbirth occurs. So that is just the act of giving birth, regardless of how it occurs. We do also have something that occurs at the same time, which is lactation. So another term, and colostrum that is also being stimulated at that time.